Hello everyone and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name's Michael and I'm bitten by a radioactive book. Today is Tuesday and... What's this? What's this? I hear a little melody. What's this? What's this? A brand new tag for you to see. What's this? What's this? It's the musical theater tag. Yeah, that happened. Of course, it's Tic Tac Tuesday, and today I'm doing a tag that was originally created by Lydia from Something Like Lydia, and she's a huge fan of musical theater and musicals, and so she created a whole tag around it and tagged me in this, and I'm very excited to get started with it. So the first question is Wicked. Favorite fictional friendship? I'm going with Icarium and Mappo here from the Malazan Book of the Fallen. These are two characters that show up first in the Deadhouse Gates, the second book of the series, and then are part of most of the Even books in the series at least, and yeah, they're also up until the end. And they have a very special relationship because Icarium seems to be a very powerful being and he has no recollection of his past. And Mappo, on the other hand, knows what Icarium did in the past and is kind of his guardian. And he has to protect Icarium from himself, but also the world from Icarium. And Icarium doesn't know that fact. And so, from his point of view, they have a really great friendship, and from Mappo's point of view they also have this, but there's always this kind of feeling of guilt because he can't tell Icarium everything that he knows about him. And there is a way for Mappo to make Icarium forget again when he maybe comes too close to realizing who he is. And yeah, that is kind of a very tragic and heartbreaking kind of friendship, but the way this whole friendship develops throughout the series is kind of amazing, and yeah, a really great tragedy, but filled with a lot of powerful and positive moments as well. Next up we have Sweeney Todd, your favorite villain. I'm not sure. There are a lot of villains that I like. There are also a lot of characters that are maybe more grey and that are better villains. So I personally enjoy, yeah, villains that are motivated from, yeah, desires in themselves instead of being just pure evil, like Sauron, for example. That is not a great villain for me, so I'm going with Tywin Lannister from A Song of Ice and Fire, because I think he is a very interesting and complex character, and yeah, he's one I really love to hate. Even more than, for example, Joffrey, because Joffrey is more like cruel, but Tywin knows what he does and why he does it, and that's really interesting. Next up we have Phantom of the Opera, your favorite love triangle. And I had to think and think and think and came up with nothing. I think this is my favorite love triangle. I love how I do this. I don't know. I don't read books that have love triangles. Even a few books with romances in it, like Soulless or Steam and Sorcery, they didn't have love triangles. So no triangle here. Not even a circle, a square, something naughty like a hexagon. No, nothing. Nothing. Next up we have The Lion King, and this is about your favorite sidekick. I go for Tasselhoff Burfoot from the Dragonlance series by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, because Tasselhoff was one of the first comic relief characters I ever experienced in my life, and yeah, he just kind of stuck. He's a Kender, and the Kender is like a small race in the Dragonlance universe, maybe a bit like gnomes, but not totally, and the Kenders are all like notorious pickpockets. So he can steal basically everything from everyone without them noticing in the first place, and he's also very, very nosy. So when the group is still like deciding, how do we open this door, or is it dangerous, then Tasselhoff is always like 2 rooms ahead and already figured it all out. And that leads to some very, very funny and interesting situations during the series. Next up we have Grease, your least favorite ending. That is very, very easy, because I have one book that I really, really enjoyed, and this is Jack Glass by Adam Roberts, and it's a fantastic book. It has the premise of 3 murder mysteries, but right in the beginning, in the prologue, we are already told, yeah, the murder is always Jack Glass. And so in the course of the novel, for us it's kind of, yeah, the issue is to find out how this kind of knowledge that he is the killer relates to every story, and that is done really, really well. And then in the end, within I think the last 2 or 3 pages, we actually learn about his motivation for doing what he's doing, and this is like ridiculous. This is like one of the worst revelations and the worst endings I've ever read. It didn't take away that much because it was so hilariously bad that I still said, okay, the rest of the novel was so good that I still give it like 4 stars, but this ending is like really, no way. That's your ending, Adam Roberts? Really? 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 Next up we have Matilda. It's your favorite adaptation of a book. Yeah, that's, I think, quite boring, because not many of the fantasy books I'm reading or science fiction books I'm reading are really adapted to like the big screen or something, and therefore I go very boringly with The Lord of the Rings, because I actually enjoyed the movies, the whole aesthetics, the soundtrack of it, and yeah, so it's The Lord of the Rings. And the last question is a very dangerous question, because it's for Les Miserables, and it's the favorite death in a book. So, we're going to talk about 2 books, and one will be the Dragonlance Chronicles, and the other will be A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. So, if you haven't read them yet, this might be the time to stop the video. That's why I'm talking rather slowly now, to give you time to decide if you want to risk being spoiled. There's like a countdown. 3. Why do I do 3 and 3, 2, 1? You're still here, then that means we can talk about 1 and out. Okay, one of my favorite deaths is, of course, Joffrey in A Storm of Swords, because I really despised him. And when he finally kicked the bucket, I was really happy. So this is my kind of favorite death when it comes to a death I was really hoping for it to happen. And the second death is the death that I really liked because it was a tragic death and I was actually mourning the character, and it was Flint Firestone from the Dragonlance Chronicles. And yeah, he dies in the end. He gets a bit of a very peaceful ending, dying under a tree, and it's, yeah, it's really lovely done, and it was one of the first major character death experiences I had as a teenage reader, and it kind of stuck with me, and therefore I'm choosing Flint. And of course I'm going to tag a few people as well. I'm going to tag Kimberly from the Adventuring Bookworm. I'm going to tag Joe from the Retired Book Nerd. I'm going to tag Elena from Elena Reads. I'm going to tag Jacqueline from Jackie Rocks here. And I'm going to tag Patty from I Smell Books. I hope you guys have fun with this tag. So, that's it from me today. I apologize sincerely for the horrible singing in the beginning. If you still liked the video, even though the singing happened, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to my channel. If you want to know what's coming up, please look inside the description box. There's a little segment there called On the Horizon. I wish you a good day and hope you get bitten by a really good book too. Bye.